Richard, tell me about the Wall of Silence.
Well, I found through the course of the investigation of Katrice's disappearance that I found out that things that should have been happening, or I felt should have been happening, weren't happening. And when I approached the military police, I got a wall of silence, and I felt that the only place that I could turn to was my headquarters in my own regiment. And what became apparent was when I entered headquarters of my regiment and I walked down what I would class as the corridors of power, people started ducking in and closing doors because they didn't want to deal with A, me, and B, the questions that they knew I was going to raise, which was what was happening on my daughter's case. And it was just a complete and utter wall of silence, and this continued for many, many years.
How many years exactly?
Well, we're now into the 38th year. I spent 34 years in the military service, and with my regiment I served 22 years. So from when Katrice went missing to this point, it has now been a total of 38 years. Katrice was 2 when she went missing. She is now 40.
And how did they treat you when you fought against the silence?
Like everything else, the sad part is they treat you with contempt. Why should they pass down information? That was their attitude. Why do I want to know that? And why was I asking these questions when I pointed out the fact that I couldn't get answers from the police? So who else could I turn to? And that realistically, the whole situation I found myself in, they were treating me with utter contempt.
And they treated your family the same way?
There was no difference between Sharon's treatment and my treatment whatsoever, and I found that was rather sad. And I get fed up of hearing how good welfare is within the military setup, SAFA, and I hasten to point out that SAFA failed me in a massive way. They never visited my quarter until 6 months after the event had occurred.
And what happened then?
Well, the lady concerned, because in realistic terms she was like a welfare officer to see that children weren't being abused, that was part of their role in the military, told Sharon that they couldn't bear to come to the property because Katrice was one of hers, i.e. one of her wards. And Sharon's reply to that was, she's my daughter.